Welcome everyone. I'm going to talk about and go back to earbuds here, and there's always, I've converted over to earbuds. I went to a wireless kind of headphone type things, which seem to work really well, connect well, and are inexpensive. I mean, you can get particularly headphones and behind the head, which I use particularly when I go outside. They kind of help as ear warmers. They last a very long time and they are inexpensive. I mean, for $25, you can get headphones, particularly behind the ears, meaning you can wear a hat, which I do as well for cold weather. You can get a really good one for that. And of course, they're not quite as comfortable as actual earbuds. But like everything else, there are drawbacks to everything. And earbuds, the problem with earbuds is they tend to fall off. You have problems when they just stick in the ear. Now, I've got two different ones here. I tend to get earbuds that are like the ones I'm going to show you now. Recently, I showed you the Bose ones, which are beautiful. They do charge well. There seems to be a little magnet in here to hold these down. That's always the problem with charging. Earbuds, there's always a charging problem. Now, these do not go around the ear. They go in the ear and you twist them to get a good hold. Now, so far, those seem to work pretty good, but you always got a problem there. If you're moving around with these on and they just kind of screw into the ear with their unique adapter, well, I'm not sure how safe those are long term, but any time of earbuds, you just don't hold on your ear the same as getting headphones that either go over the top of your head or behind your head, depending on whether you're wearing hats or not. And those tend to be very inexpensive. When you get these things, they tend to be expensive. This, of course, being a Bose, is expensive. Refurbished around $90, new around $160 or $80. And, anything Bose I consider worth it. But you're paying a price there. And I don't know. I've only used these a few times and they seem to. Of course, the sound is fantastic. Will they hold in your ear? I don't know. In terms of when you start getting very active. Well, here's another holy high. These are one of your typical things. Now, all the earbuds now are in these boxes and they serve as charging boxes. You charge the box, then the box itself charges the earbuds, which sounds good and, of course, does work in theory quite well, but there are problems with that. And they all work like that. Here's another one. PRTUKIT. And, of course, this is an interesting one, and of course the problem is, as usual with these things, that there is a charging problem. Now, the problem with all earbud cases is, are you getting a good enough attachment? I've had problems with this, that they don't charge well. Now, when you add other cushions like these there's a problem. So generally you have to take these off, then put them back in. These are ones I've added that are these very nice cushiony types for the ear. Then you have to put them in to get that actual contact here. But the contact is never very good for charging. You have to press them down. You never really know. And then the case things don't lock the way they really should. Now, if you're lucky, and I don't see it. Okay, there we go. You can see the two red lights are on, which means it's charging. Now, how good that charge is, I've many times charged these types of things, and particularly these, if they're not seated right, they don't charge, and then you're outside, you're out in the field walking around, and they die on you within 20 minutes. Real problem. And you don't know how highly charged these are or not. You just don't know. Now, these are an improvement because of the fact that they have, and the reason why I got these, so I had great trouble with this, but you have to take, whatever you have on the front there, you have to take these off. I got these because they're much more comfortable. And let's go back to this as well, one of the nice features of these. Now, These are the type of earbuds that tend to be much safer. They have the hook that goes around the ear. So it goes around the ear and then you press it in. And of course, that's where these come in to assist the process, is that these come in and kick. Because you don't have a snug fit within the ear, you cannot get the bass and get good sound. This is the problem I had with the older sport Bose. Just didn't work worth a damn. It didn't hold in the ear. But these do, because you have this in it. And you can see the two charging areas here. But this hooks on the ear. And that generally tends to be more comfortable as well. I don't like jamming things in my ear because I tends to hurt it, etc. So this holds it in place, and you can press it in with this using these special comfort. And these you buy extra from wherever you're getting your earbuds from, Amazon, etc. You can get these. And then I generally put them in here, and then I close the case. But you can see how that pops up? If that's not down, you're not going to get a good charging. So you may have to take these out while they're charging. Make sure these are seated, because you've got that problem again. Right in here is the charging, and there's nothing there. Now, Bose has a little magnet in there. Very smart. So it holds it down, and a very strong case. These, the case is not strong enough, so if there's any kind of problem there, and you got to look at it again. Are those red lights coming on? Well, it looks like they are coming on. Yeah, they are coming on here, meaning they're charging. Now, here's something that gives you even a better idea of what's charging or not, because it shows you what is charging. So, this number here, which is, I don't know if we can see that or not, it seems to be glaring in the camera. This is at 96%, which means this case is charged 96%, because that's what you have to go by. So, because if that number is 0 or way low, well, it's not going to charge your earbuds quickly. Now, what's nice about this is it shows you each side how much it is charged, but this particular one doesn't do a very good job of it. So as we can see here, the left, is that left on there? Yeah, the left one is charging. Well, why is only the left one charging? Okay, so here's the right one. You take that out, and again, you can see the charging. They're just these things you press on, which go against the inside there. And these come with these types of things. Again, it's hook around the ear, which is always the best way. That way, if you have any problems, they generally don't fall off of you. They may not be holding in the ear perfectly, and you can press them in, but this is a better way of not losing things. But these fall off of the ears as well. They don't clamp on. So you put these in, and then you'll see, again, this coming up. Now, this is showing the left is charging. Well, what about the right? Technically, this is the right, so I don't know why it's saying left. Now we put the other ones in. Now you show both of them are charging, but they've been charging. Apparently, this one is fully charged. Now, why is one fully charged and not the other one? They were both charging at the same time. I don't understand. So these are all the little problems here, but this kind of shows you what's charging and not. So apparently the left one, which is, I'm assuming this one, is still charging. And why, we don't know. Now, but still, when we take if we take this out, it stops the charging information there. We put it back in and press it down, and it shows the left is charging again, which technically is the right. Huh? Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So then we take this one out, and we can see that other one is still charging. So the left one is still charging. Strange. The case is at 95. You can't see that too well. Let's put the other one in here, see what happens. Now that clicked off because apparently this one is fully charged and this one isn't. The problem is if they're not fully charged and you go out for the day and you want to use this for 6-7 hours, well, you just don't know, and it can die on you. So that's the problem with earbuds, not knowing the level of charge. Some other devices will tell you what the charge is, but the whole idea is this shouldn't be rocket science, something you have to worry about. Now these have the pads they came with on them, the actual insert here. This is how they came. I believe they come with others, etc. And as I said, I always like the hook ones compared to. Now, the hook ones compared to the twist in or stick in ones. Now, these are just stick in. And you're supposed to stick them in and twist them and it holds in your ear, which does seem to work pretty good. How much, I don't know. I don't particularly like that. It's not secure enough. If you're moving around, you're wearing hats, you're going different places, it can be a problem and you don't want to drop those. Now, these give you a little better protection because they hook around the ear. Now, Bose doesn't make them like this, as far as I know. I've been looking for this type from Bose. They don't make it. So I always get my earbuds that are connected with a hook on them. This works much better. So you can see how this is still charging. And it seems to be a problem that continues. Here's the inner again. You've got 3 connectors here. This one only, the other one only had 2. You pop this in, and apparently this is already charged enough. Because if you look at it, it goes all the way to the top, and then it says, yeah, charge. This one is not charging, so I'm not sure if it's working right. Press down the earbuds to charge. Well, they are charging. Now, here again, this cover does seem to pop up a little. It's not really strong. It's not holding them down. I've had to wrap rubber bands around this. It doesn't click. Now, with this, notice the Bose. You can't pull this open. You have to push on here and then bring them open. So this, all you got to do is pull it open, which means that if these aren't 100% down, you've got a problem with charging. Not a good design. Now this one here tends to lock a little. You have to go. You can kind of hear a lock, but it's still not very tight to the point that you can depend on it. But you can see it's still tight enough that you're getting your 2 charging. Now when you look at this, you can't tell what's going on inside at all. You have to open it up to see that, but that's why you're supposed to have this to tell you if they're charged. So right now, this is saying that the left one is charging. It's only up to 2. 3 and 4 of these are not charging. It's been doing this for a while, so we'll see if that works or not. But you can see how this one is undependable, even though you have that nice gauge on there. So that's the problem with earbud cases and so forth. If you don't get a good charging for them, you're going to run out of juice in your earbuds quickly. So there's a lot of improvements for these. These, of course, $25 to $35. Quite a difference from this, which was around $90 refurbished and about $160 new. But it's really unfortunate they don't have the ear hooks, Bose, so you can have that extra value to them, which would make the Bose perfect. But these are push in the ears, twist. These hook to the ears, which is what I like. I always like hookable to the ears. It seems to help, especially if you move around a lot and you're jumping in and out of buses, taxis, whatever it may be. It's easy to do that. If you're a hat wearer, etc. I mean, hats people don't wear much anymore because I guess it messes up their hair. But, you know, in cold climates and other things, you can't beat hats, rain, etc. Depending on where you're at and what kind of you're going from one place to another. People are going from car to car, going to garages. Well, nobody wears hats because it messes their hair up, and it certainly does. But they certainly keep you warm, especially if you're outside. If you're one of those outside people who are waiting for buses or taxis or other things, wearing hats is a great thing. And, of course, it is something that certainly gives you warmth and protection. You leave most of your heat outside of your hands, feet, and, of course, your head. So that should give you a good look at the little earbuds. And like usual, everything is different, how good something is, how well it charges. But the big problem with earbuds is, do they charge right so that you make sure you get a full charge? And I've had nothing but problems, especially when you start using more comfortable or tighter attachments on your earbuds. When you start using these, you're going to have trouble charging them. And in general, do they charge fully? Do you know? Well, the problem is that once you're outside and you're using these, if it hasn't charged correctly and it goes down in 2 hours, well, you're screwed. So I always carry backups and everything else if I have these tech. I'm hoping to see to see how long these last and if they charge easily, which they seem to do. So hopefully that's a short course in earbuds and you have enjoyed it. These are all things I'm not sure people know about, and it's something I learned personally converting over from headphones to wireless, then moving into earbuds. And, I use these even in my home to listen to different things as well, because then I don't have to carry speakers around, like even the bigger ones I just showed you in a recent video. These you keep in your ears, and you can walk from room to room, and it's not a problem, and you don't disturb other people and have stuff blasting. So they certainly do serve a purpose, and these are anywhere from 25 to 35 for your lower end. You can go higher than that. The whole question is how long do they last? And right now, these two are kind of iffy. They do have good sound. I would say compared to Bose, you have to say is a 10. These are about an 8. So they're pretty good for the money, especially if they can hold their charge long enough to be functional for whatever you're doing. Until next time.